Good afternoon, Tobago. Good afternoon, media. Today, I am here to address the eagerly anticipated third edition of the Tobago Carnival. This festive period would pretty much start off with Blue Food on Sunday. Um, this is an opportunity for us to take our families to Bloody Bay, Tobago, where the festival will be held. There, we would be celebrating the king of all tubers, the Dasheen. Along the route, the very scenic route along the north side of Tobago, there will be stops, picture stops, where you could capture memories of yourself and your family heading towards the festival, where much activities and competitions would be held. Some of the main competitions that would be held would be the best Dasheen cake, best Dasheen wine, best Dasheen pie, best Dasheen drink, best Dasheen dish, best Dasheen booth. There would be competitions for the crowd as well, which would be best dressed male, best dressed female. So we are asking you all to come out dressed to the T. The biggest Blue Food posse would also be a feature of this year's festival. So come with your team, come in your numbers, come out and represent. Come out, enjoy yourselves, come out and have a good time. Village farmers competitions. Biggest Dasheen, that would be by weight, and the biggest bunch of planting by weight as well. There would be activities for the children, such as bouncy castles and petting zoos. And there would also be a farmer's market. These Blue Food festivities would kick off the carnival period, which we would then head to Market Square on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for the Soca Titans. We then head to Magdalena Grand on Thursday for Tuco's Calypso competition finals. We are back at Market Square on Friday at 8 p.m. where we would have Monarchs of Mass. We are then heading into Mud is Life, because Tobago is mud. You heard me correct? Tobago is mud. And we know that the Mud is Life festivity would have been advertised for Saturday night. But after meeting with the stakeholders, between the stakeholders, divisions, and Festivals Commission, we have come to the conclusion that if mud is to be to Tobago, what Jab is to Grenada, we need to give it some special care and special attention. The Mud is Life promoters agreed that the festivities would be moved to Friday at 11. This would allow for persons to partake in the mud and then head to the Juve festivities, which would start at 4 a.m., ending at 10 p.m. There would also be mud stations along the route, so persons wishing to partake in the mud could partake in it and then head into their Juve bands. The carnival route has remained the same. The loop from Coast Guard Base all the way down to Market Square and back into Coast Guard Base area. This year, AMA has doubled down on safe zones, and there will be a no tolerance attitude towards disturbing the peace. We all have to enjoy the festivities. We all want it to be, if not as safe as last year, safer. And we all must respect each other in our bid to have fun and live with one another. So there will be a no tolerance to the EMA's noise pollution laws. And the main zone for this would be between Comfort Inn Suites and along the road to the traffic light, because there are people in the hospital, sick people in the hospital. We need to be conscious of that while having our fun. We can't be having fun at the detriment of lives. So we need to be very cautious of that as well. We would then move on to Saturday night, where we would have Rhythm, Steel, and Powder, which is the Pantrinbago event. This event would start at 5 p.m. and end at 8:30 p.m., making way for Night Mass to take place. And Night Mass would start at 9 p.m., going all the way to 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. We then have conventional Mass starting at 10 a.m. on Sunday And that is how we would bring an end to the Carnival festivities on Sunday. We are asking everyone that would be taking part in the Carnival to have a safe, I repeat again, a safe but enjoyable festival. One of the main features of our Tobago Carnival has been safety, and we intend to keep it that way. We have had many security meetings with the security stakeholders, and they have assured us that all plans are well underway, and they intend to keep the reputation of Tobago having the safest carnival in the world. I am here also, and again going back to the mud situation. The Mud is Life promoters would have advertised their festival for Saturday. They have given much consideration, and due to our great relationship with the stakeholders, they have acceded to come to Friday, not only to the benefit of themselves, but to the benefit of the festival overall. And for that, I applaud them and I give them much congratulations. Another hot topic would have been the budget. And the budget for the Tobago Carnival is $9 million. The budget, we would have liked to release the budget much earlier, but due to new procurement laws, we cannot distribute or allocate monies. We cannot distribute monies without having the allocation to pay them. And we, in the Division of Tourism, are working assiduously to make sure that we pay our bills on time. We have had bad experiences before, but we are working to make sure that these experiences do not happen going forward. So the budget had to be finalized based on the reading of the national budget and our allocations coming in. So we have arrived at a final budget of $9 million. With those few words, I'd like to say thank you. And are there any questions from the media?
Good afternoon, Assistant Secretary. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am indeed.
Good afternoon. In terms of the budget, could you give me a breakdown of the allocation of the budget where the largest chunk of the budget would be spent? And also, could you give me an idea of when the disbursement of the funds to the band leaders to assist with whatever they have to wrap up? When would that be made? Thank you.
In terms of the stakeholders, $2 million has been allocated for assistance to the stakeholders across the board. Our intent is to have a check distribution ceremony on Monday so that they can start accessing the funds and leading out and rolling out their stuff.
Yeah, I have another question as well.
Sure.
With regards to CAL, I know that has been an issue. I have made several attempts to reach out to CAL to get an idea of how many flights has been added on to the air bridge to assist Tobago Carnival. I also have to get feedback from the port chairman. But on your end, could you give me some figures if you have in your position, or even tell me if some sort of discussion was had over the past 7 days with CAL and port on that?
So discussions with CAL are always ongoing, because outside of the Carnival period, we have a problem with a lack of flights coming and going to and from the island. As I said on numerous occasions before, we have persons going to Trinidad for business, medical emergencies, and having to stay the night on the airport, which is untenable. I mean, it's very difficult to know that you are forced to go to Trinidad to access services, and transportation is a problem. So negotiations are always ongoing with CAL. We see pronouncements about flights to other destinations outside of Trinidad and Tobago when they have their carnival, but we see none for Tobago. Flights, last year flights were added. They were added very late. At this point in time, many persons did not even know that they were added. So along with the negotiations, we would like CAL to announce when they have added flights so that persons that are willing to travel between the islands to the Carnival would be able to access these flights. And if there are no further questions, I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone and thank you for listening.